Hey there, folks. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. Got another video on new deposits going into TIAA Traditional for the month of April. So before I get going, again, name is Greg Shepard. I specialize in helping folks all over the country just make sense of those oftentimes confusing TIAA accounts. If you have questions over this video, which is a pretty straightforward video, or other complicated issues and videos you've seen before, or maybe in the future, by all means, contact me. My information should be below. So let's get going. This is Again, I'll reiterate, as I always do on these monthly videos, TIA resets the rate for which you get, if that's correct English, on new deposits going into TIA Traditional. New deposits, I can't stress that enough. It's probably the top question I get. Does this new rate affect my old legacy money? The answer is no, only for new deposits. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to stare at my screen here for just a second. Let's start off with the illiquid contracts. We got the more antiquated, archaic contract, RA. Some of you have it out there. RA contract, we're looking at 5%. By the way, folks, we went down 0.25% from last week across the board. Not too surprising at all. Still attractive rates on the illiquid contract. So let me get going here again. So RA contract, we're looking at 5% on new deposits. RC contract, retirement choice, looking at 5.25%. I really like that RC contract. GRA, looking at 5%. So I've been helping some folks out there navigate some of these traditional accounts. And if you have a choice, and this gets a little nuanced and complicated a little bit, but if you have a choice of toggling between contracts, or maybe utilizing one illiquid contract over the other, look at that RC contract. Not only does it have a more attractive rate for new deposits going in, it has a rather, if you want to call it, attractive exit strategy as well. That 2.5% surrender charge strategy is afforded to that contract. Not for everybody, certainly not advice, but there is that strategy that a lot of folks sleep on. Okay, those are the illiquid contracts. Liquid contracts are going to be a little less. Okay, so the RC contract, we got no, I'm sorry, it's like that didn't sound right. Give me a second here as I get to the correct page. Okay, so RCP, there we go. RCP, we're looking at 4.5%. Okay, SRA, we're looking at 4.25%. GSRA, looking at 4.25%. IRAs, for those of you getting it after 2010, October 2010, we're looking at the last one here, 4.5%. So that liquid IRA, that Roth or traditional that you have, rollover IRA as well, any IRA you have, it's a fairly decent rate for those liquid contracts, okay? Not necessarily the best rate, but nonetheless fairly attractive. The illiquid contracts still represent, in my opinion, a rather attractive rate. But folks, you better know what you're doing before you get into those illiquid contracts, in the sense that you better have an idea of how you're going to extract those monies at some point down the road. Okay, whether that's lifetime income, TPA, that 2.5% surrender charge strategy afforded to you on a couple contracts. Just make sure you know what you're doing, or you'll be calling me in 10 years if I'm still working at that point. Okay. All right, folks, that's enough for today. 0.25 point down from last month on new deposits going into traditional. All right, Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. Hey, go out and have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.